Today I'd like to talk about designer violins. Designer violins are the signature line of instruments from Rozanna's violins. Created and founded in 2010, these instruments represent what I believe will be an important part of music making in the 21st century. I remember reading an article in the New York Times a few years back about how many of my colleagues from Juilliard were unable to find work upon graduating. I remember reading this article and being very moved by it, thinking to myself that somehow we had to really do something to prepare students for the journey ahead as musicians in the 21st century. At the same time, I really believe that music is an important component in helping children to develop as human beings. I believe it's that important key part of a child's education that will help them understand and appreciate poetry and cultivating a poetic heart, which in turn will become tools for them as human beings. And so designer violins were born. Understanding that the trends in music these days are changing very much, I wanted to create instruments that really fill that need. With pop, rock, jazz, fiddling, all these different types of musical styles, I really felt it just made sense that string players should have the same kind of possibilities as their brethren that play guitars. There was a day when guitars all looked the same, but now you see as many different types of guitars as you see guitar players. In other words, the instruments themselves not only produce the kind of sound that an artist wants, but they really represent the look and the character of the players themselves. And so with that in mind, we created all these different designs on our violins, from sunflowers to owls and many, many more styles coming out that players will be able to utilize in their performances. In particular, our violins are also quite well suited for electroacoustic. They're perfect for any player who wants to be able to play with a band and have a certain kind of sound. They can easily use a pickup with these instruments. In this case, I'm using a Fishman pickup, which works quite nicely. In addition, our instruments come in many different sizes. As well, they're made from nicely flamed wood. The front is made from genuine spruce. It's solid spruce. The back and sides are made from maple. And the fittings, the fingerboard, and tailpiece are genuine ebony. In short, our instruments are made from some of the finest materials that can be found for instruments today. And perhaps one of the most important things is that when children see them, they immediately go to our violins. If you take your child to a violin shop and our instruments are there, they'll immediately gravitate towards our instruments. The reason being that they naturally appeal to a child's sensibilities. Children not only understand beautiful sounds, they also understand color and imagination, and seeing an owl and seeing sunflowers and butterflies. It delights their senses. So for this reason, it just made sense to create instruments that naturally appeal to children, at the same time coming out with designs that will naturally be useful for the 21st century musician. While we don't expect every single person in the world to one day play our instrument, we do have confidence in the path that we're creating, in the value that we're creating, in instruments that will naturally appeal to children and become tools that can also be used for the 21st century musician. Thank you so much.